Hello, good morning or good afternoon.
How's it going?
Good, good, good. Looks like you're the first.
How you doing, Marty?
Good, good. How are you doing? Staying healthy?
I am, thank you.
Good,
Staying positive.
good. That's important.
Yeah,
Yeah, all is good here. Um, we'll just wait for some folks to join.
sounds good.
Yeah. So FYI, we're recording this meeting and we'll put it up on YouTube, and we'll also be putting it up on a web page that we'll create for so if you missed the meeting, or if you know someone who missed the meeting, then you can refer them to just moralesmethod.com, and we'll have a link to this meeting eventually. Alrighty. Before
Can I
we
make a note
start,
real quick?
yeah, go ahead. Can I introduce you first?
Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, before we start, I want to introduce Caroline Montier here. Caroline is the marketing manager for Morales Method and has been very busy helping me put this stuff together and get resources for everyone. So go ahead, Caroline.
So just a note from my experiences using Zoom before, there's two things that will help us all be able to hear and have the meeting go most smoothly. One is if you're not speaking, to have your audio off, because we can often hear ambient noise from your microphone hitting your shirt or all kinds of little things like that. Anything that's happening in your space, it will start to cut off the main person who's speaking. And then second, unless you really want your face to be seen, if you do take your video off as well, it will make less bandwidth necessary for the meeting to run, and everything will move a lot more smoothly. So I don't mean to put you all on mute as if like don't speak, but if you're not speaking, it will make things a lot better if you are on mute. And if you don't know how to do that, it's in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. There's a mute and a stop video button. If those have a little cross over them, then that means you've done that successfully. That's it.
Great. Alrighty. Thanks, Caroline. So again, thanks you guys for joining. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to connect with everyone, and share what we know in order to help each other through this time. And if you have anything that you'd like to share, if anything with regards to resources or anything at all, now's the time. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask, and if we have some answers, we'll gladly give them to you. And if not, we'll see what we can do to provide support. I did have some emails come in. Some people have emailed some questions, and they wanted me to ask the group. So I'll also ask those questions eventually. But first, we do have some resources that we wanted to make you guys aware of. And for those of us, most of us are self-employed, work for ourselves. We are, paying rent at an apartment or a mortgage, and also paying an office rent and all of that. So all of this can seem very overwhelming to us as micro businesses. So we know that there are some possible resources for us. And Caroline, you've done some research on SBA and some San Francisco funds. You want to share that information?
Yeah, sure. So the three sort of main things that I've come up with so far, and would love to hear more from others at some point as well, that I found anyway, are the SBA loans. They have the sort of a special coronavirus disaster relief fund that you can apply for loans through that. I would definitely suggest that. I know that some of us also work for a spa or something like that. Maybe if your spa hasn't, the owner of your spa hasn't heard of that as well, it might be good to share that information with them. And then the other one is Marty this morning shared with me the Small Business Resiliency Fund, and that's for San Francisco in particular. So that's more of a San Francisco resource. But the SBA loans are that's a beyond San Francisco resource. The last thing that I wanted to share as well is I saw ABMP sending out they're sending a letter to the congressman, or to your congressman or congresswoman. And I would suggest that we do that as well. I'll share that resource. They have a template of a letter that we can send. And I want to look into that a little bit more, and I'll refine it for when we do finally have that website where we're sharing resources. But I definitely have noticed as I'm searching that we kind of slip through the cracks in a lot of ways. We're not considered artists. We're not restaurant workers. We're not, we're kind of the last on the totem pole in terms of medical workers and things like that. But we really do we don't fit in a category necessarily where we're being taken care of or being seen. So I think it's really important for us to be heard and make sure that, they know that we are a vital resource to this community, and definitely will be a vital resource to our communities once touch is something that we're allowed to have again. So those are the resources that I have now. If you have more resources or anything that I haven't listed, if you could send those resources to info, @moralesmethod.com. That would be really great, so that I can include them on this webpage of resources that we're going to have. So again, that's info@moralesmethod.com. And that's mainly what I have right now. I'm looking hopefully to expand that farther for sure for all of us. And that's most of what I had, I think, Marty.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Caroline. Thank you so much for that work. Thankfully, some of you may know that there's been, I don't know if this is the correct word, but a moratorium on evictions, residential and commercial. There's also a moratorium on shutting off essential services like water and power if we can't afford to make those payments. So, at least that will help us in the short term, so that we can, if we're short on cash, we can use that cash to buy groceries, buy food, and buy essentials. I believe there's also a lax in enforcement of parking. The Department of Parking and Traffic, or MTA, has issued a statement saying that they won't be ticketing for certain things. If you need to keep your car on the street for a certain period of time. So check out MTA's resources or MTA statement on that. I believe you still need to move your car for street cleaning and metered parking, but for permit parking, you might be able to just leave your car there for a bit. So that's that's what we know at this point. I do encourage you at some point to contact your landlords and let them know your situation, let them know where you're at. It's important to use certain words. And one of the words that you need, one of the terms you need to use is economic injury. This is what we're going through right now as small business people. We are incurring economic injury. The other words that you can use are forbearance or deference. And, forbearance basically means that we just want to push things out, right? I have not contacted my landlord at the flood building where I rent offices, but once I do, once the dust starts to settle a little bit, I will be talking to them, and of course, they will get their rent, but at this point we need to kind of push some things off. So those are the terms I want you to kind of be aware of. How is everyone doing health-wise? Is everyone hanging in there? Yes, getting thumbs up.
Sorry, you said forbearance or what? What's the other one?
Deferment.
Deferment. Thank you. Hi.
Hey,
I'm fine.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you. Right now we know very little about what's going on and how people are getting sick, but as I've been mentioning in some of the emails before, it's so important to take care of your health. follow the CDC guidelines. Do whatever you can to promote your health, your well-being. Maybe it means, and this is me just giving you my opinion. I'm not a medical expert here, but maybe it means cutting down on some of the things that will compromise your immune system, like drinking and smoking. So, I say this as a crotchety old man telling the young whippersnappers to take care of yourselves. Okay. So, that this is something that's going to be really important for us. And some of you may have, I'll tell you a story right now. Some of you may have gone through the crash of 2008, 2009. And to me, this is very reminiscent of it. I don't know if this is going to be worse or not as bad, but it was pretty bad back then. And what I remembered was that after everything settled and after everything kind of came back to normal, massage therapists, body workers were in high demand. So, my suggestion is to prepare. Take care of yourselves and prepare, because I believe that after this, people who have been quarantined for a long time and who really depend on us for touch and for body work and healing are going to be in greater need of it. So that's what I have to say about that. Also, I know that it's difficult. It's difficult for us to sometimes think about others in this time, and we're trying to take care of ourselves and fill our own cups, and I think that's very important. But I also think that it's important to check in on some of your clients, especially those who you believe may be more vulnerable to this, and just kind of check in. You don't have to text them every hour, just kind of see how they're doing. Personally, I have a client who we don't know what he has. He hasn't gone and gotten tested, but he thinks he's had a very bad flu. And it's possible that it was the flu. It's possible that it's something else. And, I've been checking in on him occasionally, just making sure. It looks like he came out of it and he's on the other side of it. But, people remember this. People will remember our kindness, and it'll come back to us after all of this is said and done. Now, on the same note, yes, I'm telling you to do stuff like that, but I also recognize that it may be difficult to be motivated at this point. I, for one, I was actually out of town for a couple of days, and I came back just a couple of days ago during the midst of the shutdown. And I had all these things, a whole list of things that I wanted to do in that day. And that day ended up just being a full Netflix day where I saw a bunch of movies and, just wasn't feeling motivated to do anything. And that's okay too. That's okay to not feel the full motivation. Give yourself time to just take a rest and step away from the news and really take care of yourselves, and then do one thing a day if you can. So be easy on yourself if you find yourself 9 o'clock at night and all you've done is watch TV or watch a bunch of Game of Thrones or something. So that's what I have to say at that point. Does anybody have any questions, anything that they've been wanting to share or that they need to share? There was a question that was emailed to me with regards to unemployment and filing for unemployment. Has anyone filed for unemployment already? Okay. If you can turn off your.
No, I haven't been successful with unemployment. Like the system has crashed during the middle of the application process. And so it told me today that I need to wait until Saturday and 48 hours for them to fix the crash. So that's where I'm at. So it's on pause. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's a heavy influx right now. I filled the EDD application out 2 days ago, and it took me about 3 hours because it kept crashing. But 2 days after my roommate filed, he works in restaurant industry. He
Right.
already got a letter in the mail about it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I don't know how it is.
Okay. Has anyone filed for unemployment who's self-employed out there? No? Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the process is like. I have not done it or looked into it because I'm fully self-employed. I don't think that I don't think it applies to me, but I just wanted to know what people's experiences are with filing unemployment.
I have a thought on that. Hi.
Hi.
I heard that there is a disaster relief unemployment option, and I might let me see. I might have it up here. Hold on. Unemployment, disaster unemployment.
Okay.
Disasterassistance.gov. When I went through the links on that a couple days ago, it basically just took me back to regular EDD.
Okay.
But there might be an avenue there for disaster relief, which this absolutely is.
Right,
Hopefully
right.
there will be.
Right. Okay. So that's good information. So I would say, for those of you who haven't done it, to look into it. I'll look into it and see what can be done. At this point, it's been really the things that Caroline had mentioned with regards to this SBA loans and the San Francisco Small Business Resiliency Fund. Kalish, you had a question?
I was going to say there is an option for people with that are self-employed for unemployment, because that's where I got stuck at.
Oh, there is an option?
There is an option.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 4 different options, and and then you can explain a little bit explain that's the reason why. So there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. That's awesome.
Okay, that's great. That's great news. Thanks, Kalish, for letting us know. Fantastic. Another thing I want to just share with you. At this point, if you're looking for things to do, or maybe you want to get something done, there are a lot of online courses that are being kind of sent out there, and this is not a promotion for my stuff, but there's a lot of online things that are happening right now. And I think some of the massage schools out there are offering up online courses. I think San Francisco School of Massage is doing it. I think Bodhi Panya Institute is doing it. I think the Massage Therapy Institute might start doing it. I would have to check in with them. So, it might be an opportunity for you guys to, if you find yourself with some free time, and after you've applied through EDD and all that, take a course, turn off the TV, and just hone up on your skills. I'm serious about it. We're going to be in demand after all of this is said and done. With regards to my courses, a lot of you have taken and have purchased online courses through Morales Method, but have not completed them. Now is the time to complete them. So, take your time to complete the course. So that's what I have to say about that. I mentioned earlier that I was out of town and then I came back into town. So I left right at the beginning of the shutdown in San Francisco, and I got to witness some of the anxiety and craziness that was happening here, and the rolls of toilet paper that people were purchasing and all of that. And I actually was out of town, and then I came back. And today's Wednesday, Friday, March 20th. And I went out for a little walk to get some sun yesterday, and I'm happy to report that my neighborhood Walgreens had towers of toilet paper, and they were all fully stocked on toilet paper. You know, so I think we're eventually coming back to some sense of normalcy here. I passed by the grocery store, and produce was all full. I think the people who have bought all the toilet paper that they needed to buy have already done their purchases. You know, I was even able to buy a box of alcohol swabs that I need for my thermometer, just in case. So, you know, I think my hope is that we're starting to come back to some level of calm here in San Francisco. I actually, yeah, go ahead, Kalish.
Okay. I have not gone out yet. I've been inside for most, and not even for a walk, because I'm just kind of just afraid of that shit. But I need to go out to get some a little bit of supplies. I'm wearing gloves. I don't have a mask. I know a mask is going to be unnecessary, but wearing gloves, is that too stupid, or what do you think?
No, it's not stupid. You know, really, I know that the CDC is recommending wash your hands, you know, social distancing, all of these really good things. And I think these are really good things that we should keep doing. But if it's going to make you feel better to keep those gloves on and go out there and with your gloves on, then do it. That's fine. But just be careful of cross-contamination, you know? And we as body workers, we're fully aware of cross-contamination and what that means. And I think we're very well versed in all of that. So I know what some people are doing is keeping their gloves and washing them so that they can reuse the gloves. I don't know if that's the best practice, but I know that people are doing it. But in addition to that stuff, we really need to wash our hands, not touch our face, you know, social distance, all of these things. But if it's going to, you know, give you a sense of calm, wearing the gloves, that's fine. Yesterday I was out on the street and I saw this guy with a full-on respirator mask, like he was going to about to paint a car or something. And, you know, I mean, if it makes him feel better, great, you know, fine, do it. I do understand that purchasing masks is almost impossible at this point. And I would say that it's probably best to have the medical community, doctors, nurses, be able to have access to these masks. But considering what I've seen, and it's been a week that we've been in this kind of shutdown at this point, right? It's been about a week, that the levels of anxiety have come down just a wee bit. So I'm hopeful that by next week, things will be more calm here. Unfortunately, I think it was yesterday or the day before, Los Angeles issued its shutdown. And, you know, my family is all based in LA, and the stories that were coming out of there were a little disturbing, but reminiscent of what we went through last week. So my hope is that things will be calm. You know, people who feel the need to hoard will get that out of their system, and then supplies will come back to normal. The good thing is that we have the supply. We have enough food, you know. We have that stuff. Those chains have not been broken. Those supply chains have not been broken. So we have it. So we have access to food. And so if we need to hunker down, great. And now that the whole state has issued a shutdown, then when we're all in this together now, and we can, you know, get through it together. And I'm actually grateful for that, because that means then that there will be some support and recognition and support for self-employed people like ourselves, and people who, you know, who depend on touching people for work. Long answer, Kalish, sorry. Tracy, you saw a petition on ABP. I believe that's what Caroline mentioned. Caroline, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I think so. What I saw was specifically, and maybe you're in, Tracy, you might be in that same group. I'm not sure if you're local to San Francisco, but there's a group on Facebook for San Francisco body workers. I know that's how Kalish saw the meeting this morning as well. But okay, great. So if you're in that group, they shared it. It did seem to be specific to Colorado for some reason that it was very immediate before I got on this meeting that I sort of caught that, and I haven't gotten to look through it all yet.
Okay.
But I do want to look over that, and I'm going to share that on the resources page that we have. And again, to repeat for anybody that joined a little bit late, if you have any ideas of how to, for body workers and self-employed individuals to get support, please do email us at info@moralesmethod.com, and we're going to put together a list of resources for all of us. So anything you have, any of the things that are mentioned, I'm going to do my own research on those. I've written some notes, but if you already have the links, obviously I would love to save my time. That would be great.
Great. Thanks, Caroline. And like I mentioned, we're recording this. I hope I'm tech savvy enough to be recording this. But we'll put it up on YouTube, and we'll also have this video up on the web page that'll come up pretty soon. And you can refer to that page and send it to your friends and colleagues. If they missed the meeting. Any other questions or anything? And does anybody want to share? Does anyone? Yeah, go ahead, Jennifer.
Hi. I haven't actually, I think I met you once, Marty. I used to work at Kabuki, but a long time ago. Hi. I have two questions. One, it's something that's crossed my mind, and I don't know whether I would be qualified to do this or whether this would be a good idea. But as a body worker, how would it feel to start teaching self-massage to people?
Interesting.
I was thinking of things I could share online. I can't touch people, but I could maybe show them things they can do for their arthritis. I could, talk about things they could do for TMJ. So that's something that's crossed my mind, and I think it's a positive way to support people.
Yeah.
I don't have a, certification to teach. So I guess that's where I feel like it would be, just a thing I'm doing out of my own generosity. I don't even know if I would charge for it. The other thing I just wanted to share is right now in the Bay Area, and this is just a reflection. It's not really necessarily something empowering per se, but just a reflection that it's only been, less than 4 months since the whole Bay Area was filled with smoke.
Right.
And we needed those lungs, those masks for a whole nother reason to survive.
Right.
I just wanted to say that I think that the nervous systems in the Bay Area, we're taxed. This is now the third year that we've had a pretty frightening fire season. And so anyway, I have a box of N95 masks, and I am very reluctant to take them down to the hospital because in 6 months, I might need them. I don't know. That's just a thought, and I just wanted to share. So I would love to hear your thoughts on both those ideas or points.
Well, Jennifer, thank you for those thoughts. I think that I may have to go offline to answer these questions because we're going to the 30-minute limit.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know it was a 30-minute call.
Yeah.
I actually have 40 minutes total, but we are getting very close.
Okay, well,
Sorry about that. That's fine.
No, I can try to answer that first question. I don't see anything wrong with that, doing like a Zoom meeting or a Skype meeting with a client. You're not teaching them, but you're walking them through some process. I don't see anything wrong with that. Okay. Just to offer up a suggestion, maybe you can walk them through if they use a mobility tool like a TheraCane or something like that, just maybe you can do it at the same time that they're doing it. You know, I think that would be fine. I don't think any AB&P police is going to come after you with that. And I understand about the N95 masks, and I think I do have some here as well because of the fires, and I do have a air purifier with UV sanitation because of the fires. So, you know, I feel grateful that I have this stuff. And I understand, I mean, I don't think anyone would judge you if you don't donate those things at this point. I certainly would not, you know, if you feel that you need to have them on your person. There is a huge government supply of these things that need to roll out. And I think at some point they will be rolling out, and they have, I don't know how many, I forgot the number, but it was millions of these N95 masks that are in some storage somewhere that need to start rolling out. And we also need to start ramping up production. So I think that there may be some shortages in the short term, but my hope is that 6 months from now, Jennifer, we will be able to go onto Amazon and click and get our pack, and it'll be okay. On that note, folks, I do want to say one last thing. Do I have time, Caroline?
You should.
Okay. So one last thing, if you guys are out there, you guys are purchasing stuff and you're noticing that there is some price gouging, I encourage you to document this stuff, because that's really wrong. It's not right. I think, I know at this point, no one's thinking about contacting the Attorney General for it, but at some point there will be a comeuppance. There should be a fessing up about some of this price gouging that's happening. You know, it's not cool. So just, you know, if you see it, take a picture, and at some point we'll pull back the curtain on it.
Marty, I have one quick question. I know we're limited, and maybe you can send, it's Ginger. Maybe we can send this, hey, maybe we can send, you can send this out after, but if there's people we should contact, like our supervisors, any local, like SBA or anything, just to, as we all know, we're often, I've talked about this with a few therapists, overlooked our profession in many ways. So just as far as for funding or assistance or anything like that, I just wanted to throw that out there, and you can answer it in a follow-up or for,
yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll put that up there on our, we'll put up a webpage with these resources and put that out there, and then we'll share it with you, Ginger.
Thank you.
All righty. Kalish?
I know we totally got to go.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, Kim, I have a lot of coworkers and community members that are Asian, and there's been a really hard hit for people that are Asian Americans around this. If we can just like call our Asian friends, or whether you're Chinese or not, you know, they don't care. So like, let's just lift them up in like any kind of like exaltation. Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. I also work at Kabuki. Boom. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Kalish. Yeah, you know, they may need more support than you know, than us at this point. It's crazy. But like I said, this too shall pass. We'll get through this, and you know, we just need to stick together and support ourselves and give each other resources that may be out there, that may be available to us. Alrighty, folks, I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining. I look forward to putting this up on the webpage. You guys are awesome, and thanks again. Alrighty, thank you, Caroline, for helping to put this together. You guys stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll be in touch, okay?
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.